Hey there, everybody. Welcome on into the Tuesday edition here of the Payoff Pitch, powered by BetUS, a fantastic sports book. If you want to go ahead and check them out, we highly encourage you to do it. You'll love their cryptocurrencies that you can use. You'll also love their sign-on bonuses. There's a link in this video description where you can go ahead and check them out. I'm, of course, Jason. He's, of course, the Hockey Squirrel, coming at you guys an hour late. Apologies for that. Mentioned on yesterday's show, had a little thing going on with my son and at his school. So we'll be back tomorrow, of course. We'll be back at our normal time, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So you can look forward to coming by that. But what's going on with the squirrel this morning? Or I guess, no, this afternoon.
No, it's still morning.
Well, where we are, anyway. Where we're sitting, right?
But yeah, so, dude, I took some heat yesterday, man. I've been on, as you know, I've been on the TikTok, and like my one free play has gone cold for a few days. People lose their minds, but I'm still doing quite all right. Had the LA Kings hit that at a plus 170 to start off the playoffs there for hockey. And so, yeah, I mean, I've had a profitable first and second day of May, and yeah, so try not to let it get to me there too much. But yeah, today's hockey slate not so great. It's just everything's juiced, man. Like minus 330, minus 290, something crazy. So I'm looking at baseball, and I found some stuff I like today.
I like the sound of that, and I know our viewers will like the sound of that as well. Glad the hockey playoffs is off to a nice start. Yeah, that TikTok crowd, boy, it can be rough. I've got some content that I create over there on TikTok, and they come at you. It seems like the other social media platforms, they're rough.
Oh, dude, I was reading that. I was just scrolling through someone who's like, whoa, like, dude, I don't know. Like, I've lost maybe 3 plays or something, and they're like, oh, you should just give up, dude. You're cold. You've gone cold. Just give it up. You suck. And I'm like, okay, holy crap.
Right. All right. Well, let's give some people here some winners here on this YouTube show here that we do here called the Payoff Pitch. We got people in the comment section. They're fired up today. I like it. Like the enthusiasm here, boys. Let's get after it.
Hey, thanks, Hill. Nice call on the Yankees. That was 3-2.
Yeah, I thought that was a good call by you. Most people would get scared off. I talked about it. Most people are just going to get scared off of the Blue Jays. You were to look at the facts and the stats and find that the Yankees could get a win. It was tight, but it's going to be. I think any time those two teams hook up, it's going to be tight. So
absolutely,
good win. Let's jump on in today and go ahead and give these guys some winners. You want to start off with a game here in the second inning called Around the Bases. We'll take a couple of games and break them down.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. I'm gonna shift a couple things on my screens over just a little bit. So I was looking at the LA Angels as small favorites with Noah Syndergaard against Michael Wacha, and Michael Wacha to me again is the reason that I will go against Boston here. And really, especially recently, I'm kind of surprised that Boston hasn't brought in as many runs as I probably would have expected this offense to. And I've been really surprised by a lot of teams this year, as we've talked about, not getting the job done like you would really expect them to when you look at the lineups. But this has not been typical Michael Wacha. He's had a good start, actually, to the year. We have to hand it to him. They're going 5 and 6 innings against Toronto Blue Jays and giving up 1 run, 4 hits. Going against the Tampa Bay Rays, going against the Twins, and actually holding his own. But when does the regression begin? Because I can look back through every other year, and the stats are not good. We're talking 5.6 ERAs, 1.5, 1.6 WHIP ratings. I don't think it's going to last. I really, really don't. At some point, he has to go back and revert to being Michael Wacha. I just don't see him continuing it. And against an LA team that has been putting up runs, obviously you have the big names, the Ohtani, the Mike Trout, and whatnot. Syndergaard, his stats aren't bad on his own either. And really what I'm kind of trying to stick with is that trend of that 63% win rate I talked about for fading home team underdogs early in the season. Like that system I was talking about, it's what put me on the Yankees yesterday. We picked up the win, and I'm going to do it here on both my games in the first or second inning that we're in. But I'm going to roll with the LA Angels here today at a minus 125, I think it is.
Love it. Found a winning system. Going to go right back to the well. Absolutely love that. Even if you got burned yesterday by the Yankees and you were making this play, I love it. You found a winning system. Absolutely love it. I want to jump over to the Nationals versus Rockies game. Over 10.5 runs at minus 105. Got a Nationals offense that is absolutely crushing the ball right now. Number 2 batting average in all the major leagues versus right-handed pitching. Actually, there's a really big gap. Kind of talk about how the Yankees are doing really good. They're batting 301. The Nationals are second at 271. So a big drop-off there between first and second, but it is those Nationals there at second. So like that right there. I like these bullpens in this game in terms of hitting and over. You've got bullpens respectively in opponent's batting average, WHIP, FIP, and ERA. For the Rockies, it's 29th, 30th, 19th, and 30th. And for the Nationals, it's 23, 22, 22, and 15. So you can see two bullpens certainly towards the back of the end, and the Rockies all the way towards the back of the end right there. And then Marquez and Fetty are on the mound there, respectively, for these two teams. Both of their back of their baseball cards is absolutely atrocious. I thought about taking maybe just an F5 over, but if we don't quite hit the F5 over, why would I want to leave out these bullpens who are 20th and 30th ranked across several of these categories? So I figured, let me go ahead and attack these bullpens while I'm at it. So that's why I went ahead and done that. And then Marquez, specifically, in 3 of the 4 games he's pitched this season, we've gone over 10.5 runs. So love it. Games in Colorado. Love everything about this over. So that's exactly what I'll do. Nationals and Rockies over 10.5 runs. What about another game for you?
It was 2 nights ago. I had the over 10.5 in Colorado, and they put up, I think, like 9 runs by the second inning. And I barely won the game. It was 10-1 at the end, I think. So I got just over 10.5, which made me happy. But yeah, I was looking at the over in the same game as well. Not that this was game that I'm going to talk about. I have another one. But the thing I wanted to add on is I think I last year put a little bit too much emphasis on this, but it is just a thing to note that the wind is 10 miles an hour blowing inward. I know you don't really care too much about the wind, but especially at Coors, if you can get that wind blowing out on top of the thin air and being at altitude, that's something I really look for as well. So just something to note there. But another thing that fits that system that I was talking about, or the winning system that we were talking about, you get Tampa Bay Rays with a brand new Ryan Yarbrough. And I remember seeing him, I mean, not that he's new to the league or anything, just that he's making his season debut today, I think, after coming off a 10-day injured list of a groin injury, I want to say. But he will have to go against Paul Blackburn. So it could potentially be a spot for an under because Blackburn has been bringing the heat against some really good teams too. He's allowed 1 run or 2 runs against either Toronto and 1 run against Baltimore. But otherwise, dude, he shut down in 5 innings the San Francisco Giants at home. The Tampa Bay, no, that can't be at TV. Yeah, he did. He shut down the Tampa Bay Rays, the same team, in 5 innings. So, I mean, Paul Blackburn looks good, but what doesn't look good is their offense. They're dead last. At least in runs, is Oakland with only 27 runs in the last 2 weeks, and the most being from the Yankees at almost 80. So just bottom of the board. I just think that the Rays offense here then would be worth a price of minus 130, even going against a really good pitcher that you might see for 5 innings. But on the back half of that game, man, I think they might be in trouble.
Yeah, and I don't think, I mean, okay, Blackburn, but you got Yarbrough on the mound there for the Rays. He'll match him, at least match him, maybe even outduel him. So that Rays money line at minus 125, boy, is that appealing as all get out. They're bringing the way better offense into town. So, no, I love that play right there. I think that's a very nice play there by you. I want to go ahead and talk about Phillies versus Rangers. Phillies F5 team total over 2.5 runs at minus 105, and really focused on just the starting pitching here, because if the Rangers get to that bullpen, like if they have some sort of a lead or if they're in a tight game, it's pretty much going to be over. That Rangers bullpen is first in opponent's batting average, second in ERA, just among some other stats that they're kind of hovering around that top 5 range. So just didn't want to mess around with this Rangers bullpen. I'm focused on John Gray, the starter there for the Rangers. So I'll go ahead and fade him. In 2 starts, he's allowed 3+ runs in both of those starts, and his home runs are starting to show up. This guy is that's getting kind of home run heavy. Well, in his last start, he gave up 2 home runs, and that's really bad news when you're going to run into this Phillies lineup. So he's a guy that's going to get low strikeouts, high walk, so not the greatest of ball control. Again, you're playing right into some of these bats of Castellanos and Realmuto, some of these guys there on that Phillies team. So, yeah, the Phillies offense is sitting about middle of the road here in the last 10 days. Going to run into a starter that is giving up hits and runs all, 2 starts. So I like this Phillies team total over 2.5 runs at -105. Let's go ahead now and shut up and give these guys some pitching props. Is there anybody on the mound that you like today?
Yeah. Number 1 being Joe Ryan of the Minnesota Twins, the pitcher there starting against the Baltimore Orioles, I believe it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be to go over 6.5 strikeouts at plus money. So you're getting plus 110 there for the highest strikeout team on the season. So far at, I think it might be around 10 strikeouts a game or something, 9.65. So just about on the season, on average. So I definitely like that. And I think there might've been a discrepancy between websites of who was actually starting for the Orioles. I think I saw Zimmerman on one. Not sure if he's the actual starter, not that it matters for the prop, but, I was even thinking about maybe paying some juice and just taking the Twins, to be honest, especially if it is Zimmerman. I think that was another guy who, we can't deny the actual stats of the first couple games, but much like Waka and what somebody said in the comments, we're expecting him to implode. I mean, it's just, you can't keep it up. I don't think they can. So, I mean, the Twins could be a heavy juiced favorite that I hop on as well, but I definitely like Joe Ryan over 6.5 strikeouts plus 110 to go against the Baltimore Orioles.
I mean, that's all the Orioles do is strike out. I mean, they just strike out like every at bat. That's a great one. I'm a little nervous 100%. There. I'm a little nervous on that Twins money line, just because I've faded Zimmerman this season, expecting him to be the back of his baseball card, and he's not been so far. So he's not burning any more of my cash until he reverts to that. But I mean, to your point, he's gonna be that guy anymore. But I love that strikeout play, fading the Orioles bats. They've just been atrocious. I like Charlie Morton over 4.5 hits allowed. The starting pitcher here for the Atlanta Braves. Over 4.5 hits allowed at even money. It's cashed in 2 of his 4 starts. Are getting the Mets offense that ranks number 10 and just batting average versus right-handed pitching. This bet cashed versus the Mets a couple times last season when he went up against them. So he's going to struggle. This Mets team is really, really good. He's been giving up hits throughout his season. So at even money, I like Charlie Morton over 4.5 hits. For another one, what'd you say this Blue Jay starter was? Alex what?
Alek Manoah is the name.
Alex Manoah. I'm going to go him under 17.5 hits at even money. Has not cashed at all this season, but the fact is, when he faced the Yankees last season for the first time, it didn't cash. When he faced the Yankees for the second time, it did cash. And that's what I'm leaning on right here. A good Yankees team that's in form. Now going to go ahead and see them for the second time this season. I think the Yankees will be able to get to him and chase him just like they did in 2021 early. He will not see 6 innings pitched completely. So another bet that comes in at even money that I like Alex Manoah there of the Toronto Blue Jays to stay under 17.5 outs recorded. What about for you?
Are you done with your pitching props? Because my next pitching prop would actually lead into being my underdog play as well.
Love it. Let's have it.
All right, cool. So call me crazy. I'm going to go ahead and take Tyler Mahle to have a good game against the Milwaukee Brewers. I will go.
Can't call you crazy for that. I wanted to call you crazy. I'm laughing because I wanted to say you were crazy, but I can't do it.
All right. Yeah. You just wait till the 4th inning where we get to the long shot.
Then I'm going to call you crazy.
Yeah. So I'll take Tyler Mahle over 5.5 strikeouts against the Brewers, where I think, again, they're kind of a heavy swinging team, swing for the fences. I mean, they are actually up there quite a bit in to about 9 strikeouts a game. So I think, in that top few, definitely, I think top 8, 4 strikeouts anyway. And, surprisingly, again, Mahle and Woodruff really haven't had the greatest of starts to the season. I think Woodruff got hit around at least in one game where it was like, what is going on? But it leads me into my underdog play, which I actually like, and that would be to take the Cincinnati Reds plus 200 to get a win against the Brewers at home and Brandon Woodruff. Am I nuts?
Yes, you are completely nuts. I mean, how many L's in a row do they have? Let me count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. And then it's like another 10 before a loss. Yeah, you're crazy back in the Reds. You are crazy. I love the Mahle pick, Mahle, but wow, taking the Reds. Why are we doing it there, Squirrel? Yeah. Why are we taking them?
3-19, right? You do have Mahle, which obviously I like, but let's see. Brewers, though, what the hell was I looking at? Dude, I got so many tabs open now.
How are they going to do it? How are they going to knock off the Brewers? See, I think the problem with this pitching matchup that you're going with is Woodruff is going to equal what Mahle can do, right? I mean, the dude is good, but Woodruff can go inning for inning with them. And then if you get into a bullpen game, it's over. The Brewers have by far the better bullpen, and they're not hitting. Yeah. I don't know why we would consider the Reds. I like the strikeout prop, but boy, not the Reds. I cannot get there.
I definitely do. And should the Reds be an underdog? I mean, absolutely. But is 200 too much? Is 200 too much is the real question.
If you weren't getting one of the Brewers,
that's correct?
I mean, if you weren't getting one of the Brewers' top 3 guys, right? If he was going up against, not Woodruff, not Peralta, or not Burns, then okay. But Woodruff should basically wipe out anything that Mahle can do, and now the other 2 advantages are just are huge.
Should.
Yeah, should.
But Willie. And the line movement as well, I think, was something that interested me.
What, it's gotten to be a bigger dog, I assume?
Yep. But you're looking at 19% of bets, 50% of money as well.
Okay.
Onto it.
Okay.
I just think 200 is too much.
All right. No problem right there. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give my long shot then. And your pitching prop, was it over 5.5 or 6.5 Ks?
For Mahle, it was 5.5.
Love that. Love that right there. I think he'll definitely hit that one for you. My long shot, let's just go jump to the long shots. You've kind of got us there. I'll give 2. One is the Giants. You were right on that yesterday, but kudos to you, man. That line, I was watching that all day. I meant to bet it and give it out at plus 155, which is what you mentioned. And by the time I circled back around, it was plus 130. Saw this morning it was at plus 115. It's now gone back up, I think, into the 120 kind of range. But you were absolutely on that. So I'll give out another one, even though I really like the Giants' money line. I like the Yankees again. Now, today they're a dog. Pitching matchup, okay. I think we'll be able to get there. Generally speaking, it's a wash. Both these teams have seen these starters. And I think the Yankees, in their current form, have the advantages to overcome the Blue Jays in their current form. So I think the Yankees are another good dog as well. So Giants, Yankees, and Reds are long shots of the day. Let's go ahead and do keep swinging. You want to go ahead and kick it off here?
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
Okay, I think there's 2 guys we can look at here. Matt Olson here of the Braves. Got 3 for 4 off Carrasco with 2 of those 3 hits being home runs. So maybe he's a guy you sprinkle, right? Quarter of a unit. You can find him at plus 525 over at BetUS to crank a home run. Maybe he gets a quarter of a unit for you. And then Bryce Harper. He should really light up John Gray today, batting .333 against him. 2 of his 5 hits are gone for the home run. Really think this Phillies lineup will just get all over Gray. So those are 2 guys I would kind of keep an eye on today. Olson, there of the Braves, and Harper of the Phillies. One for you?
Cool. I really did like to what the hell was his name? DJ LeMahieu. I wanted to go under, but as we were talking, why does everything have to be juiced to the absolute gills? Like, you can't even make a play on something. I mean, it really is just the books like saying, "Go away,"
They want you to do a parlay. They want to get your money through a parlay.
Sure. So there's a parlay piece then, because it's minus 180 for under 1.5 bases for DJ LeMahieu. I didn't look at what the hits were, but another guy is Darren Ruff against, is it Urias something?
Yeah.
On the Dodgers, however you pronounce his name. 21 at bats, only 5 hits, and you're getting plus 145 to go under a hit for him, or if you want to take the under 1.5 bases, again minus 180. So maybe LeMahieu is plus money at under a hit. I would have to look at the actual juice there, but I did like and for him as well. DJ LeMahieu no hits on 8 at bats against Manoah, and you had a prop on Manoah as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I gave that one out under 17.5 hits or outs, under 17.5 outs. He'll definitely get under 17.5
Okay.
hits. I throw all my money on that one.
Yeah, yeah, that's 100% max play,
Right.
but
All right, let's go ahead and
cool.
move it over now to It's a Steal. I believe you gave yours out already.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I gave mine out yesterday at the plus 155 there, and I'm gonna say it's still a steal, even if you didn't hop on it yesterday or didn't catch yesterday's show. Um, then I think getting Carlos Rodon at plus money is still incredible. Like
Mm-hmm.
plus 125 still. I mean, and the line never should have came out at plus, or I said minus 125, whatever. Line never should have come out at plus 155 yesterday. I still don't think the line should be plus 125 now. I think that's a steal. Yes, you're going against the Dodgers. Yes, they're at home. But as you even said last year, this is what cashed is anytime the Giants were plus money, it was a good bet. And I don't want to miss it again this year.
Good. Like that bet right there. I'm going to go ahead for my steal. We're definitely head-to-head, so we'll see who gets bragging rights on tomorrow's show. Brewers run line. I don't know why you wouldn't continue fading this red team. Not only do they lose, but they're just losing via the run line all season long. And they've got Malley on the mound there, as you mentioned. His last start out, they lost it by the run line. So if you can get Woodruff, they can just cancel him out. And maybe I should say it the other way. Maybe Malley should cancel out Woodruff, right? Let me not sit here and treat Woodruff like with disrespect that that he's less of a kind. I think they're basically the same kind of pitcher, kind of on the same level. So if we just get a starting pitcher gets equaled out, everything else just goes to the Brewers. And you're just talking about a team that is just losing via the run line all the time. They just put India there on the injury list. I mean, they're so bad. Who knows? Maybe his replacement can be better than him. Surely the starters so far this season haven't gotten it done. But it's 10-1, 10-4, 7-5, 8-5, 9-6, 5-0, 4-2. I mean, they just lose via the run line. Except for a 4-3 loss to the Rockies a couple nights ago. When they lose, it's all via the run line. I expect them to lose this game. I expect Woodruff to hang with him. So I take that Brewers run line at minus 105 as a steal. It's a steal. It's just cashing too much. The trend of fading the Reds is cashing. So at almost even money, go ahead and take it right there. All right, we got to get to our best bet. We'll do it in inning number 7, coming to a stretch. What's your best bet on the board today?
Well, I mean, it's between the Angels and the Rays. It's very similar juice. I mean, I would say those are my best bets if I can. I mean, it still falls in that system of a 63% win rate, and your implied probability there at minus 125 is I don't know, 54%, something. I don't know. But I mean, it's way, way smaller than to hit a 63% implied probability. You'd have to be at like minus 165 or 160 or whatever the hell it is. So really, it for the same reason as the Yankees pick yesterday, I would say the Angels and the Rays. Hoping Waka implodes and hoping that, I mean, Paul Blackburn's great, but if they can't hit, they can't hit, and you're not going to get runs. So I'll say both of those.
Both of them. I love it when you're confident in your card. Love that, Squirrel. Love it, man. All right, my best bet on the board is Julio Urias, there of the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think he'll go over 1.5 walks and get this at plus money. Good plus 115 bet. In his 4 starts, he's cashed 3 of those 4 starts, but he's obviously going up against the Giants, so that's what we'll focus on here. They're drawing a walk every 2 innings. So that right there just projects as an easy cash. I mean, every 2 innings, that means by the 4th inning, we should have 2 walks. This guy will go 5-6 innings, somewhere around there. So it just projects very nice. Looking at the same lack of control since 2020. If you look at his numbers, 2021, he had a relatively nice season in terms of his K to walk ratio. This season, though, it's off to looking like the numbers of 2020. And in that, it cashed in 2 of the 2 starts versus the Giants. So just looking at it based on numbers, we're kind of projecting based on, and then you add in what the Giants are doing this season in terms of drawing a walk every 2 innings. Don't know why we're getting this at plus money. I've struggled with these walk props. We haven't hit an over yet. We hit our first under yesterday with Zach Greinke, staying under 1.5 walks. Come on. Let's see if we can't hit our first over today in at plus money. At plus 115. I think it's the best bet on the board today. So I'll gladly bet that one. Eighth
Cool.
inning.
Hey, I have an idea. Eighth inning. If somebody has an idea in the chat for what the eighth inning should be, because we're gonna get with that graphics guy probably and get that changed here, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like this inning just doesn't really work particularly, and I don't know. Like you said, I mean, it's either too early or just I don't know. Like there just isn't really a lot of promotion stuff from the book, which is kind of what this inning is about. If you're new, um, but yeah, I mean, if there's any ideas out there of maybe what that inning should be, what would you guys want to see? I mean, other than what we've already covered, we've already gone over underdogs, props, batters, pitchers, but there's got to be something extra that we can talk about.
There is 2 promos today though. Dinger Tuesday.
Okay.
That's on their own if they want to do that. We've kind of talked about that every Tuesday now. I don't think it's a good promo. And then over on Bet Rivers, 20% profit boost can be used on Tuesday. I've gotten in the habit of I just grab my stuff so early in the morning that I've been using this boost actually on Wednesday's game. So it'll be like a money line and over under a team total. So just look for me a little bit later on Twitter. We'll use that 20% profit boost on a Wednesday game. So just make sure you're following me on Twitter. Let's go ahead and do the 9th thing. Let's close this show out before we get to rapid fire. Throw up our bets that we've actually got our money behind. We've talked about a few, but that didn't mean we've actually bet them all. The ones I bet were that Nationals Rockies over 10.5 runs at minus 105. Phillies F5 team total over 2.5 runs at minus 105. Take Urias to go have over 1.5 walks at plus 115. And then for those that are interested in my Champions League bet today, I threw in the Liverpool to score in the first half at minus 155. And it looks like you've got a couple money lines.
Yeah, as usual, mostly a money line player. But yeah, as I said with the best bets, the Angels and the Rays fall right into that system. I think that the pitching, at least in the Angels game, is advantageous to go against Waka. The pitching is a bit scary in the Oakland game with Blackburn, but the offense is pretty atrocious. So again, that's why the minus 125 is worth that price for the Rays. You're just buying the offense, basically. And obviously, yesterday, that game, as we said, never should have come out at plus 155 is where I got it. So those are my odds, but still 125, I think it's a great value to have Carlos Rodon. I really the best pitcher around right now that I can tell.
Yeah, he really is. Love that guy.
I mean, and both teams are great offensively as well. Not really a far travel to go from San Francisco to LA. So
I like that best possible parlay. Kick that idea around. I like that. We don't really give parlays, but I know the people like parlay. Like that, Nick. Like it. All right, and also like the EV plays as well there, Tim. So we'll kick around a couple of those. I like both of those. All right, let's go ahead now and pull up BetUS and do our rapid fire. We'll run through these games, talk about them from a run line, money line, and over-under perspective. Braves and Mets kick it off in the first game of a doubleheader. We've actually got a pitching change in this one, folks. At least I went ahead and verified it on another sportsbook while I was waiting. But BetUS and other sportsbooks are now showing Peterson going in game 1 and Carrasco is going in game 2. So we got a pitching change there. So it's Charlie Morton versus Carrasco in game 1. Braves are the underdog at plus 115. Mets are at minus 135. Over under of 7. I will take the Mets on the money line.
This one was, what did you say? Carrasco is going in the second one, or this one is Carrasco?
Peterson's going to go in this one now in game 1. David Peterson.
Okay.
You're going to get Carrasco in game 2 against Kyle Wright now.
Okay. I think I would like the Mets probably better in the second game. I don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I didn't look at his stats. I don't really know that much, honestly, about Peterson or whatever. So.
Okay.
Not real sure.
In that second game, the Mets come in as underdogs at plus 110. The Braves are at minus 130. I would take the Mets again. They're not, there's people who actually believe in doubleheader chasing. Like, oh, I'm going to go into this game and bet the Braves. And if they lose the first game, I'll bet the Braves in the second game because there's a perception that you can't get swept on a doubleheader. And I would agree, it's certainly very, very rare. So if you want to,
we already saw it once. You said this like 2 weeks ago or something. You were like, oh, they're not going to get swept, and then they freaking got swept.
Yeah,
so
it happened.
I think it was like a Giants back-to-back or whatever. But,
Oh yeah, I guess it was Nationals or something, or Diamondbacks or something. Yeah. All right, let's talk about Mike Clevenger. He's making his season debut, coming off a nice injury. You got the Padres taking on the Guardians there. Padres at -135, Guardians at +115, over under of 8. Boy, I can't wait to see Clevenger. If he can just come right back like he didn't miss a beat, he's gonna be nice. So probably just take the you know what, I would bank
another
on
home underdog.
So you would jump on the Padres?
Yeah, I didn't do a ton of research on this game particularly, but it's another home underdog that fits that system of a 63 win percentage, 63% win rate. I don't know. I mean, it's
Indians
from that angle,
or not Indians. Guardians have the number 6 batting average versus right-handed pitching. This offense is actually currently projecting better than the Padres offense. That would make me a little nervous. I would actually just take the under in that game because if Clevenger can do his thing, I think Plesac can do his. I would just take the under.
Okay. Cool.
We skip the doubleheader. Diamondbacks, Marlins are up next. Diamondbacks at +160. Marlins at -190. Rogers versus Castellanos. Me not paying Marlins money line. Run line. Sorry, Marlins run line.
Marlins run line. Yep, for me is what I would do.
And then we got the Rangers and Phillies. I've given my opinion on this. Do you have an opinion on Rangers and Phillies?
I like Ranger Suarez. I like the Phillies. I know from last year I didn't like John Gray. I'm not real fond of the Rangers. I would pay the -160 and just take the damn Phillies at home. I mean, I think that's a safer play.
Twins and Orioles. This is a tough one for me. Orioles at +145. Joe Ryan on the bump for the Twins at -165. I mean, I would lean Twins, but Zimmerman's not taking my cash anymore. He's not burning anymore, so I would take the under, right? If Zimmerman just continues doing what he does, I think you get an easy under cash here. Orioles offense can hit, so I think easy under 7.
I think it's so funny how we came into this year of, like a couple games ago, even it was Bruce Zimmerman sucks, and now it's like, oh, if Bruce Zimmerman's doing what he's doing, how funny that changes, like how quickly that changes. Like now we're kind of looking at the same thing with Michael Walkup, like dude, he's terrible, and then it's like, oh, he's having a good year. But again, I would bet the Twins and say Bruce Zimmerman doesn't hold it together much longer, and nor does Michael Walkup.
That you know what, we've been bashing on that Twins bullpen. I talked about it. I think it was either Friday or no, it wouldn't have been Friday. It was Thursday or Monday. That bullpen turned a corner when you start looking at 10 days. Now that Twins bullpen projects up, and the Orioles bullpen is still up. So if you get Ryan and Zimmerman do that thing, 2 really good bullpens coming behind. I'm telling you, under 7 could be a really nice, easy cash. But let's see what happens between these Yankees and Blue Jays. I like the Yankees as my dog of the day. Do you like the Yankees or Blue Jays? They're both priced pretty good. Didn't matter which one you bet.
Somebody in the chat said that Blue Jays are 8-0 so far off of a loss.
Ricky coming through with that fire knowledge.
Yeah. So that was kind of a cool stat. I did not know that. I did look at the pitching stats, and I do think Manoah has an edge on him. I think, again, like we've talked about, both teams are very tough to play. It's hard to go against the Yankees at underdog odds, but I think I would fade Taillon and the Yankees after getting a win today. I'll go the other way and take the Jays.
Okay, Blue Jays right there. Angels and Red Sox. We know you like the Angels. I'm going to join you on that one, so we'll skip it. At BetUS, you can get that at -128. We got Pirates and Tigers up next. Pirates at +130. Tigers at -150 with an over-under of 8.5. Yep, Pinata's on the mound there against Bryce Wilson. Over 8.5 for me. Easy 8.5 over.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in a money line on this one. I mean, if it was a straight up pick where no odds were involved, there were no juice, I would like the Tigers, but I would hop on an over in that one as well, as I just don't want to pick a side.
All right, well, we don't have to pick a side in Reds or Brewers because we know who's on which side. What about over under of 7 in that game? I would take under 7 for Reds and Brewers.
Yeah, I would too with the pitching, and if the Reds aren't going to hit, which they haven't been, and we know that. I mean, obviously they're 3-16 or something, or whatever the record is. Yeah, I mean, if they keep doing what they've been doing, then the pitching and that batting should get us to an under, I would think. But I just think +200 is too much for the Reds. Still.
Battle of Chicago's up next. White Sox are headed across town to take on the Cubs. White Sox at -140, Cubs at +120. White Sox for me all day with Kopech on the mound. And
White Sox for me too, but I don't think that game's going to be played. I feel like it's not anyway with the rain.
Yeah, and you get the benefit of the Cubs are throwing a lefty on the mound. White Sox
Sure.
are trending up. They still got, if you look at the numbers as a whole, it's still not that great, but the White Sox are trending up. So you get Kopech with the lefty on the mound for the Cubs. So that was an easy bet right there, White Sox. And to your point, though, it's been raining all day out that window, so doubt that game gets played. Cardinals and Royals. Cardinals minus 120. Royals at even money. Hudson versus Keller. Over under of 7. Probably go over 7. I think you can get over 7 in that game.
I'm more familiar with Dakota Hudson's stats than Brad Keller. I don't know. Did you look much at him or if he's been doing well?
For Keller?
Yeah.
He's literally a so-so guy. He's like a number 3 starter. That's about all he
strictly
is.
Average.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the Cardinals bats, to be honest with you. What'd you do? Over 7? It's juiced to 120. Yeah. Probably an over.
All right. Mariners and Astros are up next. Mariners plus 135. Astros minus 155. Over under of 8.5 with Flexen and Javier on the mound.
Tough one, huh?
Mariners.
Do you still
Mariners at plus 135.
I do too. Do you still like Chris Flexen so far?
I don't know if he's still crushing it in the F5, but yeah, I still like the guy.
Okay.
I got no
problem. I would take Mariners for a value play. I mean, I don't want to pay 155 with Javier against the Astros.
I'm with you. Mariners. I mean, the guy's had 3 starts or 4 starts, and he's had three quality starts in those 4 starts. So Flexen's still getting it done, by all means. He's still getting it done. And his one non-quality start was his season opener, so maybe he just had butterflies in his stomach, and now he's gotten it together, and now he's out just throwing quality start after quality start. I love Chris Flexen. He can get it done. Plus 135. Love that right there. I gave my opinion of Nationals Rockies. I like the over-under of 10.5. If I had to pick a side, you could probably force me into taking the Rockies at minus 140, but not something I'd rather do. What about for you?
Yeah, if the juice was a little less, I'd entertain the idea of a Rockies play, but the over 10.5 is the absolute play to be made there, especially with trash pitching in Fetty, especially. But neither guy has been great, but I haven't liked Fetty for a while, ever. I haven't liked him ever.
Me either. Never. Well, between Rays and Athletics, you're on the right side there with the Rays at minus 125, so I'm going to join you on that one. Let's skip it over to the Giants and Dodgers. We both like the Giants, but what about for an over-under of 7? I would do an under of 7 in that game between Giants and Dodgers. What about for you?
Always such a tough one because you have such good bullpens and such good pitching, but you have like elite bats too. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, the only valuable spot to me here is the plus money of the Giants. They're 2 excellent elite teams. That why am I getting plus money on that? That's the spot.
Yeah, you're on an absolute fantastic play right there. All right, so that's going to do it here on the Tuesday edition of the Payoff Pitch. Again, apologize for the weird start time, but we'll be back tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. More great comments. I love that 8th inning suggestions. We'll work with our graphic guys. I think the parlay is probably the one that takes the cake because everybody likes a good parlay.
I think so.
We'll just see how long it takes to do the graphic, and then we'll start working in some 8th inning parlays for you guys. All right, that's how we'll do it. Cash your bets, fellas. Cool. Go out there and have yourself a Tuesday. Cash those bets. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the Payoff Pitch.
Absolutely. See you later.